Fknbucky. I spell it. You say it. Coming at you. Got Hayden here today. He's always here. He's a staple. It's really hard for me to be nice to Hayden because I'm an asshole. So deal with it. No, it's been a good few days. We've had Hayden flies out from Wisconsin to come do the podcast, and we record this up. He goes home. He does all the editing, gets things taken care of. So we wouldn't be here without him. That's probably the nicest thing I'll ever say. Is accept that and now shut the fuck up. We've got a lot of stuff that's going on. We spent a couple days at the beach. How was the beach?
Beach was good. The ocean's so big, man. I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, it's a wide body of water.
And there you have it, folks. That type of genius does not happen every day. What'd you think of the ocean? It's big. Did you know it had a lot of water in it? I did, Hayden. I did know the ocean had a lot of water, but I'm glad you reminded me. I may have forgotten some. So, all right.
We got a room though right next to the beach. I didn't know how loud the waves are.
Waves are very loud, very very loud. Yep. And it's almost medicinal in a way. It's I don't know if it's scientifically proven. I'm sure it is somewhere. But having the sound of the waves crashing certainly is helps you fall asleep a little deeper. And I lived on the water for 3 years in San Diego. It was amazing. Did we already talk about this on the podcast? Or did
you've mentioned you lived on the ocean in San Diego a couple times.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that road if we've already done it. But we are going to put up a couple of pictures if you are watching this on the YouTube and show you what my beach house looked like. It was amazing. So we don't have to go down that whole rabbit hole. But I will say again, and I stress this all the time, I mean, go live at the beach for a winter, a summer, surf every day, get a crap job at some little surf shop. Just have some fun. Trust me, being an adult and paying bills will be there. It's not going anywhere. It'll be waiting for you.
Did you ever have people come up to you and tell you it was crazy to live on the beach because of how expensive it was, or was it not that expensive back then?
Oh, I don't know. It was expensive. I mean, shit. I had a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom apartment, or 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. It was $3,000.
Damn.
A month. And then, utilities and blah, blah, blah was on top of that. That was just the rent. But it's just money, man. Like, some people live for money. I'm just not one of them. I spend it. I should be way better than I am with money. But I don't know. When I retire, I'm just going to murder a couple of people who go to prison anyways. So I don't need a retirement fund.
Yeah.
I just keep a list of people that make me angry, and, I'll probably get through at least the top 3 before I get caught. And then, 3 hots and a cot, right?
Yeah. I think you're pretty good with money.
Play spades with the homies every day,
Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
I'm in a wheelchair, dude. I'm not going to pound you in the butt prison. I'm going to a freaking nice one.
Hopefully not. You wouldn't be able to defend yourself. Well, you wouldn't feel it though, right?
It wouldn't matter. No. I mean, I'm not that hard to keep in prison, man. Just put a couple of stairs around me. Not gonna wheel up them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you should be nice to me. Otherwise, you make the list. It's not a bad plan. I've heard other people have it too. But and it was expensive, but I had some of the unbelievably best times of my life living at that beach, man, and it was so worth it. I would trade every nickel to do it over again in a heartbeat. Like, it was awesome.
So why did you have to move out?
I ran out of money. It's true. I couldn't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
$3,000 a month for 3 years. That's a lot of fucking.
Yeah. What were you doing for work at that time? Were you in financials?
I was prostituting myself, and after 3 years of that, I was pretty much ran through.
Yeah.
Well, used up at that point.
Right.
Had a couple of sugar daddies that kept me on the payroll, but
Damn.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it much.
I can tell.
Yeah. But hey, sometimes you gotta take a shot in the mouth to pay rent. You know what I'm saying?
So did you leave California for work or what? No.
I left Cali because I was just done with it. I was done.
What do you mean?
I was just done with living in Cali. I didn't want to do it no more. I lost my job, and I was, a lot of my friends have already moved away, different places, and I would have had to start over completely, which is not to say I couldn't do it, but I would have to get a new job and a new everything, right?
Mm.
And I was like, I don't want to start over in Cali again. It was expensive, and I mean, there's so many people, just nonstop.
Yeah.
So I just made a choice to be done and moved out, and it was the right choice. I mean, I enjoyed my time there, but
do you think the highlight of it was it the weather? Because it was always
no, I don't give a shit about weather. It was Cali, beaches, bikinis, beer. It was fun, and we had a good time in my little spot there in La Jolla. We made some of the best friends of my life, and it was all good. It was funny though, because we've talked about my snowboarding days,
right,
and how much fun I used to have. I mean, I was known by everyone, and it was good times. I was king of the hill in a sense. Some may argue that, but that's just because they're idiots. So, but after I got hurt, I just decided or accepted the fact that my best days were behind me, and that was that. But the truth is that once I lived on the beach in La Jolla and made the friends that I was able to make there, I mean, those were some of the best days of my life too. So wheelchair didn't have shit to do with that, and that's why some people complain and cry about this or that. That's wrong, and they're morons. There's nothing in your life that prevents you from having a great day. There's nothing in your life that prevents you from having a great year. The only thing that can affect that and to make it reality is you. So if you walk around pissing and moaning that you're having a bad day or pissing and moaning that the world's mean to you, guess what? It's going to be fucking mean to you. If you let the BS go, keep a smile on your face and look for reasons to be happy, guess what? That's what's going to happen. So, 3.5 years I lived at the beach right there. Fucking amazing. Beautiful. Waking up, seeing the waves every morning, watching the sunset every day. Watching the moon set on the ocean. If you've never seen that, man, you're missing out. Like, it's the most beautiful thing you can imagine. So, it was a blessing. It was great times. And like I said, it was just, it ran its course. It was over. So, you can't, people think that the good times are going to last forever and ever, right? You just have to be able to your life to accept that whatever it is, it's going to end, but it doesn't mean it's all over. Next journey, next experience. And as long as you keep an open mind and smile on your face, got nothing but good times ahead of you. And that's the truth. People ask me all the time, where's the best place you ever lived? I'm like, wherever I am right now. This is it. And you make it the best. There's good, bad about everything. And I get annoyed with people that are like, oh, a bunch of rednecks or blah, 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 a bunch of gangsters. Whatever it is, where you're living. There's good and bad people no matter where you go. Every single town in the world has assholes, and then every single town has great, fun people. So, do you want to be a traveler and go places and all that? You got to learn how to identify the people that suck early, and then just whatever. Fuck them. You know, you're not going to change your views. You know, and again, you're not going to change people's minds. Like I've got some people that post on Facebook every day, blah 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 blah, anti-Trump, pro-Trump, Biden, whatever.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I've got my own ideas and I've got my own things that I make my decision on. So it doesn't matter how many freaking posts you put on Facebook. I'm not changing my mind. Like it's like maybe if you just post one more time, I'll come over to your side. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Everybody has different life experiences. Everybody's gone through life in their own way. And those experiences should drive what you believe is right and wrong in the world. And, unless you've been in somebody else's shoes, like who are you to tell them to think differently?
Mm-hmm.
You're not, And again, it's not on you to fix the world, The world, it's a funny place, man. People are funny. People allow way too much stuff to get them worked up, man. And we talked about this in the car, and that's why we're going to bring it up now. And I don't want to ask, and I've written blogs about this if you read the blog. But if you have something bad happen to you, how much time do you dedicate to feeling sorry for yourself? Oh, think about that for a moment. How much time do you dedicate feeling sorry for yourself? Because nothing good's going to come from those days because you're self-pitying yourself, right? So if you break up with a girl, how many days and weeks do you go feeling sorry for yourself and crying to anybody that'll listen? What's the number? 2 weeks? A month? A year? It's a mindset that we've created in ourselves that you have to be miserable because something bad happened to you. My question is why? Why do you have to? It's like why not just accept it and say fuck it and move on the next day? You can wait a month, just lock yourself in your house and watch, I don't know, stupid TV shows or something. But then after that month, your friends come by and finally they snap you out of it and you get back to doing what you should have been doing. Now you just pissed away 30 days of your life. For what? For what? What was done? And it's crazy because people expect it too. Like if you come out with a smile on your face the next day and like, you know what, it sucks, it hurts, but I'm gonna get through it. Like people can't fathom that strength. They don't have it inside of themselves, so when they see it in you, it baffles them, and they don't understand it. And there's two types of people in the world. There's the people that are baffled, and there's the people that get it and just do it. And I bring that up on a lot of different ways because I've obviously seen a lot of shit in my life. Not as much as some, more than others. I'm not trying to get into a freaking contest on that. But how, and I call them wasted days. And in my opinion, you should have no wasted days. And I'm not perfect. I still screw up and have days that I wish I could go back. But my point is, on a personal level, when I was paralyzed at age 24, life was grand, dude. Like it was going awesome. I was snowboarding all the time. A lot of pretty girls, tons of friends, and yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better life at that point. And boom, it was taken away in a fucking moment, and everything was different. It all changed instantly, which is insane to think about, but it's the reality of what actually happened. And I remember thinking to myself, After a little bit of time, because the first couple of days I wanted to commit suicide. And I think that's pretty much what everybody wants to do at that point because it's so traumatic and it's so hard and it's so hard to fathom what life is going to look like that you're just like, fuck it, I'm done. Sucks, but that's reality. And I've always said that I would only tell the truth on this thing, so that was the truth. After about 3 days, though, and after seeing my family, mostly my dad, and just the look on his face and the fear that he had of losing his son, I realized that I couldn't do that. I couldn't check out early. So that moment, when I realized I wasn't going to kill myself, I realized that I was going to fight and I was going to get through it, no matter what it took. And I did. Exceptionally well. And I saw lots of other people in rehab that didn't go through it well. And it's a fucking hard thing to go through. I will never judge anybody for however they choose to do it. I just chose to do it my way. And that was included telling jokes and laughing and bringing up the morale of the people around me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we talked about this or not, but I'm going to throw the story in there. We can edit it in or out. But I used to dye my hair purple all the time when I was on the mountain. And it was awesome. I got hit on by so many girls. If you're a young guy, dye your hair purple. Chicks love that shit. So I ended up dyeing it while I was in the hospital. This purple color gave me something to do while I was in there, right? In rehab. And then I found out that one of the other patients, this guy that was a quad, he was getting to go to a hockey game. He was going to the Avalanche game. Game 4 against the Red Wings. Huge rivalry between those two teams. So it was a big deal. And he was getting to go, and the hospital was paying for his ticket. So I wanted a ticket. And the lady was like, there's no more tickets. And I told her, this is real shit. I said, I'm going to beat my head against this wall and scream ticket until I get to go. And I did. I started hitting my head against the wall and screaming, ticket! 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 And I was actually hurting my head. I wasn't hitting it softly. And I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, the lady's like, God, please stop. I'll get you a ticket. I was like, okay. And I got to go. I got a ticket. And the other guy that was going was a married guy, probably late 30s, early 40s maybe. But he was a quadriplegic, so he couldn't use his hands very well, if at all. And obviously I was a para, so I could wheel around. So we go to the Pepsi Center, which is downtown Denver, where the game is getting ready to start. It's an afternoon game, I think. Anyways, we roll up in this big-ass bus, you know, with a lift on it. And we lower down this gate right in the front. Both of us got these rainbow straps on to hold us into our chair. And it's funny, the hospital didn't use black straps or white straps. They used the rainbow ones because they knew nobody would steal them. It's pretty funny. That's why they had them. And so we get off of the bus thingy, and we're sitting right there, right? And the nurse comes up, and she's like, okay. And she was super cool, too. She goes, you guys wait right here. I'm going to cruise over to the ticket window and get her tickets, right? So she disappears in this crowd. Second she's out of sight, I look at this dude with me, and I'm like, I'm getting a fucking beer, dude. He's like, I'm with you. So he's in a power chair. I'm in my regular. We go just through the crowd a little bit. Huge beer tent. Get in line. And we bought 2 beers each because that's all you could buy. But he was a quad, so he couldn't move around. And I wasn't carrying 4 beers. So we simply just shifted ourselves to the side a little bit so the other people in line behind us could go. But we were still right there at the bar. And I'm sure there's people that tell this story because people were staring at us like no other. But I was chugging my beer, but because he couldn't use his hands, I was feeding this quadriplegic his beer. So I'm like holding his beer up, like pouring it down his throat, and I'm drinking mine at the same time. We're both chugging. And we chugged both those beers as fast as we could. Took a little time, maybe like 5 minutes. Anyways, so then we come out of the beer tent, right? And this freaking nurse is losing her shit, man. She lost 2 guys in wheelchairs at this freaking game. So finally we see her. And she's like, "Oh my God, where were you?" And I replied with the only thing I could think of. I was like, "Where were you?" I'm like, "We were looking for you." Actually, we were at the beer tent getting fucked up. So then we go inside. We finally get in, and I started drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade. And the whole thing was for like the science test, right? So I had this heart monitor on. There was like the saliva test that we had to do because they wanted to see how the excitement of the game affected our bodies as a newly quadriplegic or a paraplegic. But I completely ruined the entire test by drinking, which I didn't care about. So I drank those Mike's Hard Lemonades all day. And, man, we got loaded. And we had such a fun time. And I almost got away with it, too. But the nurse lady that was with us, her husband was at the game. And so he was in the seat down the way. And you know how they do that thing with the camera? Kiss the cam? Yep. Right? They put it on people, and then you're supposed to kiss? Yep. So they did that. And they showed me and this nurse on Kiss the Cam. Well, obviously, she wasn't going to kiss me. Her husband is in the freaking thing. So I just threw the horns up, you know? But with the finger I had, the hand with the horns, I had that fucking Mike's Lemonade in my hand. And she gave me a kiss on the cheek, right?
Really?
Everything was cool. But her husband sold me out later because I told her it was just a regular lemonade, and for whatever freaking reason, she believed me. But the husband saw it, and he was like, "Hey, I thought your patients weren't supposed to drink alcohol." When they got home later, sold me out.
He's just jealous, dude.
Yeah, but the biggest part to this, like, we had a great time, man. I had a great time. And this was 6 weeks after I was put into the wheelchair and paralyzed. And the reason it matters is because that was the day, one of the days, where I really realized, like, hey, I can do this damn wheelchair thing. It didn't matter that I was in a wheelchair. You know, I was there to have a good time. And I did, man. It was memorable. I'll never forget the whole day because it was fucking fun. And that's that. So it really just showed me that I don't have to be miserable and I don't have to let this chair dictate what I'm going to do in life. Fuck that. My brain, I was still the same Bucky as I was before I got hurt. And I was, you know, and so that was that. And it was pretty cool because when we got back to the hospital the next day, that guy's wife came up to me and she said, "Look, I don't know what happened yesterday, but my husband is a different man today." She goes, "He hasn't smiled the entire time we were here. But after you guys got back from that game yesterday, he hasn't stopped smiling." And to me, that was pretty powerful, you know? Like, that guy's life got changed because I decided that I was going to have a good fucking time. That's powerful. So, while you're sitting there wallowing in your self-pity, just know that if you manned up, woman up, whatever you want to call it, put a smile on your face and went out there, you know what? Not only are you making your life better, but there's a good chance that someone around you needs to see that. And that message and that positivity coming off of you is going to change their life. It's going to change the way they look at things. And that's a very powerful thing. Many of us don't realize how powerful we really are. You know? You bitching and whining, crying about every little thing. Guess who sees that? Your kids. So what do they learn? I'll just grow up and bitch and complain just like mom or dad does. So, you know, you've got people around you 24/7, man, that would benefit from you accepting the challenges that you have and facing them head on with a smile. And I don't know. What kind of role model do you want to be? You got to ask yourself that. So I choose to be a good one. For the most part. And again, not like I don't have fucking shitty moments in life, because obviously I do. But the overall philosophy of life is not to let the little things and the BS ruin my time on earth. Because It's all limited. We don't know how much time we have. When you're laying on your deathbed, are you gonna say, "Man, thank God I fucking felt sorry for myself for 3 years"? You know, nobody says that. So accept what happens, move on, and go. And the other side of that too is when I was hurt, I was 24 years old. I remember thinking, man, I only got so much time in my 20s, and I didn't want to waste time feeling miserable. So in my head, I told myself that I would wait and I'll feel miserable in my 30s, right? I'm just going to have fun now. Well, then I turned 30, most epic party La Jolla's ever seen. Whoop, whoop. And I decided I didn't want to feel sorry for myself in my 30s. So I pushed it out to my 40s. I'm currently in my 40s, and it is a little challenging because everybody's body breaks down a little bit more. It sucks getting old, man. It just don't heal as fast as it used to. But same thing. I don't want to. I don't want to go down the self-pity hole in my 40s either. So, push it off to my 50s. Does that make sense, Aiden?
Yeah, man.
You've been pretty quiet over there.
Oh, you've been going on a good rant. I want to let you go,
All right.
I want to let the cat out of the cage.
Sometimes I'm just not sure if you're actually awake.
I'm just thinking about how much money that we lost on the Super Bowl, man.
Don't bring that shit up. Fuck you. You didn't lose any money, you prick.
Me and Bucky threw down big money expecting a wild night in Myrtle. Didn't go down that way, unfortunately.
Dude, first rule of gambling: shut the fuck up. You don't tell people when you lose money. That's stupid. You only talk about gambling when you win.
We're just being real.
Don't be real. The most real thing you can do is shut up. Fucking dumbass.
We just needed Kelsey.
I lost $3, man. It was all right.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Dude,
what did I just say?
We just needed Kelsey to score a touchdown.
Dude,
we would have had it.
Shut up. Don't bring that shit up, dude. No, really. We just needed... Shut up. Don't talk about it. Well, we threw down a lot of money. Well, I didn't. You did. I asked you to put $60 on my team, but did I send you the money Venmo? No. No. I lost, so I'm not sending you shit. That's how you get your money up front.
I sent it, didn't I? I'll go ahead and send that soon.
Whatever. Cheap bastard. And so continuing with that philosophy, I am obviously I love dogs. It wasn't always that way, but they're just so amazing. If you don't love dogs, fix it because you should. And I'm fascinated by them at this point because they get life, man. They just get it. You take somebody and you chop their leg off, and dude, they go through the depression, they go through the miserable, they do the self-pity thing for I don't know how many fucking years, right? And everybody in society is like, oh, yeah, you should feel sorry for yourself, blah, blah, blah. Dogs? Man, you chop one of their legs off, and they're like, fuck it, I can run on 3. And they just go. And they're just happy, man. They're happy to be out there. They're happy to run. You see the dogs that I don't know. I wish humans had the same strength on the inside because that's what it comes down to. And those dogs, man, they just want to play fetch. They want to run. They want to have fun. And they don't care if they only got 3 legs. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. But you never see them, right? You just see them happy running.
Yeah, when I went to Guatemala, there's a lot of stray dogs going around. They're pissing on everything. They didn't want to play fetch. They were like looking for food and shit.
Well, that's because they were hungry. If you're hungry, you look for food too. So.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Your dog is really freaking. Your dog's awesome.
You just gotta. That's it, man. But you see a lot of dogs that have, their little issues, but they don't care, man. They just keep going. And it's cool. Do I love those little fuckers?
You're not a cat man?
No. I love pussy.
My brother's got like 4 or 5
They're
cats.
just not cats. That's because your brother's a homo. Hey, I didn't buy him the freaking cats. You know what I mean?
Shout out.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. A lot. There's moments that I wish I could take back, possibly. But obviously you can't. You have to learn from those. And the other side of that is all those experiences that I've had up to this point have made me who I am today. For the most part, pretty happy about that. But sometimes people get so worked up about the flaws a messenger has that they refuse to listen to the message. And the message could be very good, right? And, you know, if someone yells at you, get out of the way, and you're like, fuck you voted for Trump, right? And then a piano falls and lands on your head. You know? How's that not listening to that guy help you? Now you got a piano on your head. And it's a very obviously drastic or whatever. But it's the truth, man. Like, people, for whatever reason, feel like that if you've done something they disagree with, then obviously everything that comes out of your mouth is stupid and wrong. And that's just not the way that it is. You know, I preach this all the time. And I'll say it again. Learn to read the language of actions. Watch what people do, not what they say. There are millions of people out there with incredible skills to manipulate your dumb ass by telling you things that they know you want to hear. But if you watch their actions, it's the complete opposite. And they're finding an angle to take advantage of you. And if you don't see that, you're an ignorant. You will be a victim. And it'll happen over and over and over until you learn your lesson. And Hayden, you and I have talked about this at length. Some of it yesterday, right? About different folks in our lives that say one thing but do another. And the truth is, if you watch what they do, not what they say, it becomes very clear that they're a person of no character and a person of, I don't know, lies. They're a liar and not somebody that you want in your life. So I leave you with that, and we're going to probably take a pause here in a second. But when someone is saying something to you, make sure that you listen to the actual message and not nitpick through their past decisions. You know?
Mm.
I mean, what was that, the dude in the Bible? John the Baptist or whatever? He was one of the disciples. And he was like the top disciple to Jesus. And yet, prior to meeting Jesus, he was a Christian killer. He thought all Christians were, that there was no God and there was a fake. And so he killed Christians. I do believe it was a lot of them, hundreds. But then he met Jesus and changed his way, and he became this super Christian, right? And if you believe in the Bible or if you don't, it doesn't really matter. But because it's the message that's coming through. Here's a guy that made huge mistakes and then turned it all around almost in an instant and became someone respected, someone that has a big part in the religion that we follow or don't follow today. But, just kind of an extreme example of don't discard the message simply because you don't like the messenger. Right?
Yeah. People should have a chance for redemption.
Of course they should. And you should be wise enough to see through that and to blow off a message or someone trying to say something good is a sign of immaturity. As you get older and wiser, you learn to listen and then you evaluate. Just because somebody says something, you don't have to take it at face value and always believe in it. But take the time to listen to it and then process that through your mind. However your thought process is because of all the experiences that you've had coming up to that point. That's how you're going to accept or not accept that message. But take the time to listen to it before you disregard it. And that's a sign of wisdom. I don't know how else to put it. Fknbucky. Love doing the podcast. I hope you get something from it. Make comments below.
Buy the fucking merch.
And get some t-shirts. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Tell your friends about it. And just remember, be kind to others. Make sure that if you're in a room, everybody else in that room knows they have a friend because you're there. Be kind to them. Talk to people. And let the BS go. Just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you have to be angry all freaking day about it, right? Just move on. And if you consciously practice those steps that I've just talked about today, you'll see your life grow and you'll be better because of it. So I'm a flawed messenger in a big way. So you can choose to disregard all the things that I say, or you can realize that all the things that I'm telling you are things that I've learned the hard way and know better now. So, yeah. So, lighten up, smile, and most importantly, get out of the left lane! Let people pass. You suck. You're slowing traffic up. Get out of the way. I guarantee one of you listening to this is blocking the left lane like an asshole right now. So change your life. Get better about it. We appreciate every fan we got. We appreciate everybody listening. Thank you. Merch is available. We've got new merch coming. And look, the whole point of this is to create a conversation. So listen and then talk about it. And agree or disagree. I don't care. I just want everybody to think for themselves. Don't regurgitate the same crap you see on TV. Those people have not your best interest at heart. Those people have simply ratings. They don't care what they say as long as you're watching. And they don't give a shit about you. So there's that. All right. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate you very much. Till next time. Fknbucky. I'm out.